Welcome to Jungle Flow. Let's stand nice and tall with our toes and heels together, with our mouth closed, breathing in and out through the nose, staring forward at something on your horizon that doesn't move too much, your drishti focus. Breathing here. We're going to be doing the Tibetan rites and incorporating them into our routine today. There are 5 different exercises that we'll incorporate. The first one is spinning clockwise. When you spin, you continue to have your gaze forward. So let's bring the arms out horizontally and at your own pace, spin 10 times. When you're done, bring your toes and heels back together with your hands in prayer. Just go at the pace that works for you. And once you're complete, just grounding to the earth with your breath. Let's inhale the arms all the way up, press them together at the top, really reaching here. And moving from side to side. Opening up the sidelines. Then we'll inhale, reaching up, and exhale, coming over to the left, and hold that, squeezing your glutes tightly, taking the weight out of your toes, moving to keep your arms nice and straight up by your ears. Pulling the shoulders away from the ears at the same time. Let's inhale, come back up to the sky. And exhale, come up and over to the right. Mouth is closed. Gaze is focused. And inhale, come back up to the sky. We'll go into the back bend. So let your head dangle if it feels good. Inhale, reach up. And on the exhale, bring the upper body up and over the ball. Squeezing the glutes tightly. Taking the weight out of the toes. Mouth is closed. Inhale, come back up, reaching for the sky. And exhale into your forward fold. Moving around here, pedaling the feet, whatever feels good, letting the head dangle. Warming up. Let's grab our opposite elbows here and hang if that feels comfortable. Then we'll slowly bend our legs deeply at the knees, coming onto our tippy toes. You can play with balancing here if that feels good, bringing your hands to your knees and maybe into prayer at your sternum, focusing on your drishti and keeping your mouth closed. And let's inhale our hands back to the ground. Exhale, straightening the legs back into your forward fold. Bending the legs slightly at the knees. Let's inhale, articulate all the way back up to the sky. Press the palms together at the top. And exhale the hands back in prayer. Breathing here. Let's inhale the arms up, interlacing the fingers behind the head. And on the exhale, bring the upper body up and over a ball. Your lower body is very squeezed straight here. The weight's out of your toes. Mouth is closed. And inhale, come all the way back up. Release your hands. And let's bring the hands to the lower back. Interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders back. Straighten your arms out. Press your palms together. Inhale, stand tall. And on the exhale, slow head rolls. 3 or 4 in each direction. And when you are done with your head rolls, release your bind. We're going to come into a tricep stretch. So we're going to bring the right arm up, bend it, and bring the palm facing the spine. Then we'll take the left hand and grab that right elbow. Really draw the right hand down the spine. Inhale, stand up tall here. And on the exhale, we'll come up and over to the left. Squeezing the legs, weights out of the toes. And inhale, release all the way back up. Let's switch sides. The left arm comes all the way up, palm facing the spine. Your right arm grabs that elbow and draws the left hand down the spine. Inhale tall, exhale up and over to the right. And inhale, come back up and release your arms. Let's walk to the back of our mats. Hands in prayer. Let's inhale the arms all the way up. Press the palms together. Exhale, come up and over the ball. Inhale, stand back up to the sky. And exhale, forward fold. We're going to bend the legs deeply at the knees here, coming to the tippy toes. And this time, if it feels okay, we'll drop down to the knees. You can bring your hands to your quads here. If it feels good, you can bring your hands into prayer and lean back a little bit. And let's inhale. Bring the hands back to the ground, relax the feet, shake it out a little bit. Our knees are together now, and we're going to keep the heels touching. Sit back on the heels, trying to get the heels in between the sit bones. Bringing your hands into prayer, level 1. Level 2 is bringing your hands back behind you. You can reach up and over the ball here. And let's inhale, bring ourselves forward, and exhale into a child's pose. Counterbalancing that spinal extension with spinal flexion. And we'll come into our tabletop position with the hands right under our shoulders and the knees right under our hips. Let's inhale, round the spine. Try to look at your belly button. Straight arms. And exhale, arch the spine and look up to the sky. Inhale, round. Accentuate your movement. And exhale, arch. Mouth closed. Inhale, round. And exhale, arch. Bring yourself into neutral. We'll open the knees wide and straighten the arms out ahead of us. Coming into a deep shoulder opener. Your arms are straight. You're pressing your palms and your wrists into the mat and popping your elbows away. Your spine is arched. You're dropping your chest down and maybe moving your face up and out of the way a little bit to deepen this. Breathing here. We're going to come into another shoulder opener in this position, crawling the right hand all the way under the left, palm down. Straighten that left arm, pressing the left hand into the mat and popping the left elbow away as you crawl your right hand palm down far away from you. Then sink your chest down, moving your face up and out of the way. And slowly release. Let the shoulder breathe for a couple of breaths. And when you're ready, we'll crawl the left arm all the way across, palm down. Right arm is straight. Right hand, wrist, palm is pressing into the ground. Popping the elbow away. And slowly take the arm out. We're going to gently crawl the hands back with our legs in this position. Big toes touching. We'll sit back, opening the quads. You can sit on a block in these positions if that helps you to come into them. Level 1 is the hands in prayer. If you want to move back, you can bring your hands back behind you and bring your chest up and over the ball, letting your head dangle. If that feels good and you want to move on, you can come down to your elbows, pressing in through the elbows to lift the chest up to the sky, letting the head dangle. Sequentially going into deep postures, one step at a time. If that feels good on your elbows and you want to explore more, you can lay all the way down. And if that's comfortable, you can bring your arms up and over, grabbing opposite elbows. But only go into a posture to the level that it feels solid, that you can breathe through. And when we're in these deep postures, we want to come out sequentially the way that we came in, and always come out of a posture when your body's ready. If you're laying all the way down, unwrap your arms and come back up to your elbows. And then from your elbows, come up to your straight arms. From here, bring your body all the way up on the inhale, and on the exhale, come into your child's pose, counterbalancing that spinal extension with another spinal flexion. And we'll come back into our tabletop position. We're going to curl our toes and inhale up and back into our downward dog, warming up here in our first downward dog today, pedaling the feet and shifting in the hips, pushing the weight back into the lower body. The eyes of the elbows are forward, the head is heavy. Push back. Inhale, come forward into your plank. Keep those toes curled. On the exhale, we're going to come into an up dog with straight arms, squeezed butt. Press your hips down and look up. Inhale, come back through plank. And exhale, downward dog. Breathing here. Let's inhale, come down to our knees, and exhale, child's pose. And then inhale back through tabletop and exhale into a kneeling posture. Your knees are hip distance apart. Interlace your fists at your lower back. Take a big inhale, and on the exhale, bring your upper body up and over the ball. And inhale, come back up, and exhale into child's pose. Inhale back into your tabletop. We're going to be coming into a seated posture with our legs straight out ahead of us. So you can crisscross your ankles and roll up and over your feet, or you can sit off to the side, bringing your legs out in front of you. We're going to come into one of the Tibetans here, opening your feet hip distance. Your hands are on the ground. You might be on blocks here. Bend your legs slightly at the knees with the toes flexed up. Inhale here, and on the exhale, you're going to lift into this reverse tabletop position and slightly lurch your knees forward. You can let your head dangle if it feels good. And inhale, slowly start to bring your glutes back down. Exhale, sit down all the way. Inhale, reach your arms up for the sky, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, articulate to your upright seated posture. Bring your arms out ahead of you. We're going to be sitting down, laying all the way back, one vertebrae at a time, very slowly going down, one exhale at a time. Slow and steady, slow and steady. Breathing, keeping the mouth closed, until you're lying all the way down. Bring your arms up to the sky and up above you. We're going to really pull the middle of that back into the mat because we're going to be sitting up, bringing our arms up and our legs up and reaching for the toes. Pulling your body apart in this stretch, drawing your spine into the mat. Let's inhale here. And on the exhale, the arms come up and the legs come up. Reach all the way up for the toes. Lift everything. And slowly come all the way back down. Now we're going to keep the legs all the way down on the mat as we sit up again. So first, stretching the body apart, pulling the spine deeply into the mat. Take a big inhale. And this time sit all the way up, just the upper body, reach up for the sky and come into your forward fold. Let's inhale, articulate all the way back up. Coming into a straddle stretch. So for this, facing me, open your legs as wide as your mat. open them as wide as you can sit up tall, leading from your chest. Inhale your arms up to the sky. And exhale, forward fold. Forward fold in your own way. Hands down, elbows down, forehead down. Whatever feels really good for you here. Breathing and releasing. Let's inhale, articulate the spine all the way back up. Use your hands, slow and steady. And we'll bend the left leg at the knee, deeply bending it, bringing the heel all the way into the groin. Inhale your arms up, twisting to the right. Exhale over your right leg. Really moving to draw that forehead to your knee. Breathing here. And inhale, articulate all the way up. We're going to be coming into pigeon with the left leg leading. So your left leg is bent, your left knee is on the left edge of your mat. Crawl the right leg back. Come up to your straight arms first. And if all is well here, come down to your elbows. Couple of breaths here. And if you want to go all the way, you'll come into a lying down posture, very comfortable posture that feels good for your body to have several breaths. Deep breath. If you're lying down all the way, first bring yourself up to your forearms. And from your forearms, bring yourself up to your straight arms. And then we'll sit back on your hip. Coming back through our straddle, we'll switch sides. So now we're going to bend the right leg deeply at the knee. Inhale, reach up to the sky, twisting to the left, forward folding over the left leg, drawing the forehead toward the knee. Deeply breathing here, focused on your breath. Breathe into your resistance. And inhale, articulate up. Now we're going to be moving into pigeon the other direction. So your right leg is going to be bent at the knee. Your right knee is to the right edge of your mat. Crawl that back leg back with straight arms. And come down to your elbows if it feels good. And then descend all the way down if that's where you're going today. Always honor your body in these deep postures. Some days may feel different than others. Breathing. And if you're laying down all the way, first come up to your forearms, and then from there to your straight arms. Inhale, lifting here, and on the exhale, set yourself back down on your hip. We're going to be bringing both legs straight ahead to the edge of the mat. Then crisscrossing the legs and coming into our downward facing dog. From here, we'll walk the hands all the way back to the feet in a standing forward fold at the back of the mat. And then inhale your arms all the way up to the sky, press the palms together, and exhale your hands into prayer. Breathing here. This is a good chance to take a sip of water. Our first flow is complete. And let's inhale our arms all the way up, press the palms together. Exhale, come up and over the ball. And inhale all the way back up. Exhale, forward fold. Let's walk the hands out into downward dog and push back into your downward dog. Inhale, come through plank, and exhale into up dog. And inhale back through plank, and exhale into downward dog. Let's inhale, come down to knees. Knees are hip distance apart. Bring the fist to your lower back. Inhale here, and on the exhale, come up and over the ball. Inhale, come back up, and exhale into tabletop. Crisscross the ankles and come up and over the feet, or lean off to the side to bring your legs straight out in front of you, hip distance apart, hands on the ground, fingers pointing forward. Let's inhale here, and on the exhale, lift up into that reverse tabletop position. Let your head dangle or not. And then inhale, slowly come back. Inhale, reach up for the sky, and exhale into your forward fold. Inhale, sit up. Crawl your feet forward if they aren't already. Arms forward. Let's slowly lay all the way down, one vertebrae at a time, and your arms will come up and over. We're getting ready to do that sit up with the legs and the arms. Inhale here, and on the exhale, sit all the way up, arms and legs reach as high as possible. Then inhale, slowly start to come down, and exhale, come down all the way. Bring your arms down to your sides, and we'll flip over onto our bellies here. We're going to be coming into seal, a deep spinal extension stretch. So bring your palms to the corners of your mat and your feet to the corners of your mat. Squeeze your glutes, push your hips into the mat, push the tops of your feet into the mat, pop your knees away. Straight arms, lift up here. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. If you want a little bit more, you can crawl your hands closer to your body. Inhale, lift up one more time, and exhale, come all the way down. Lay all the way down here. We're going to set up for a deep shoulder opener. We'll be opening up the right shoulder first, so scoot all the way over to the left side of your mat with your right arm straight out to the side, and then moved into a 90-degree angle, palm down. We'll slowly roll up and over this shoulder, just enough to where it feels like you're getting a really good stretch. You can let your left leg bend at the knee and put your left foot flat on the floor, and use the bottom of your right foot as a kickstand if you'd like. Let's slowly roll off of this. Let your right arm breathe for a couple of breaths. And when you're ready, we'll make our way to the far right side of the mat. Crawling the left arm straight out, palm down, far away from us, and then bending it at a 90-degree angle, rolling over onto that shoulder opening. The right leg is bent at the knee with the right foot on the ground. using the bottom of the left foot as a kickstand here. Deeply breathing. Let's slowly roll back onto our bellies and let that left arm breathe. We're just going to lift our straight arms up to a kneeling up dog. Nice and easy. And then push back into our child's pose. Very gentle. Let the shoulders continue to relax here. And we're going to come into frog. Frog is a wide open knee posture with the shins going straight back and the toes flexed out to the sides. It's very intense, so take your time and explore this. You crawl your knees as wide away from you as it feels comfortable, using your hands for support. If it feels good, you can lower down to your forearms, but be careful here again, this is very deep. And once you get into a solid place, you can push the weight back a little bit, using the arms or the elbows and the hands to gently press the weight back. You'll deepen the opening. You can use a bolster between your legs if that feels better here. Pushing back and breathing. We're going to bring the big toes together and push back into child's pose now, just for a couple of breaths. Just relieving that opening, and then we'll turn slowly to come back squared up on our mat and push back into a child's pose with our knees together. Then we'll inhale into our tabletop position and curl our toes. Exhale up and back in your downward dog and push back. Slowly walk the hands all the way back to the feet. Now you're in your forward fold at the bottom of the mat. Bend your legs slightly at the knees and inhale, articulate all the way back up. Press the palms together and come down into prayer. Breathing here. And inhale your arms all the way up. Press the palms together. Exhale up and over the ball. Inhale, come back up to the sky. And exhale, forward fold. Let's walk the hands all the way out and push back in our downward dog. Inhale, come forward into plank, and exhale into your up dog. Inhale, come back through plank, and exhale into your downward dog. Let's inhale, come down to your hip distanced knees and an upright kneeling posture. Interlace the fingers behind your head. Inhale here. And on your exhale, come up and over the ball. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, child's pose. And inhale, come into your tabletop. Crisscross your ankles and move up and over your feet into the upright seated posture. Feet are hip distance, hands are on the ground, fingers pointing forward. Legs are slightly bent, heels pressing in through the heels. Inhale here, and on the exhale, all the way up into your reverse tabletop. Then inhale, come back down. Reach up for the sky and exhale into your forward fold. Inhale, sit all the way up. Bring your hands forward on the inhale, and on the exhale, we'll slowly lay all the way down, one vertebrae at a time, bringing the arms up and over. Inhale, pull the middle of your back deeply into the mat. And on the exhale, your legs and your arms come all the way up, reaching up, lifting up. And inhale, slowly come all the way down. And exhale, you're all the way down now on the mat. Bring the arms to the sides. And one leg at a time, up to the sky. So now both of your legs are straight up. Your toes are flexed to your face. We're going to come up and over and plow, so you might use a little momentum to get your hands to your lower back and prop yourself up on your elbows. This is very important that you use your elbows as a prop, as a kickstand, and the hands at the lower back in the beginning while you're developing the flexibility and strength to come into this posture. If there's any neck instability, do not do this posture. We're going to try to roll down as slowly as possible. Keep that leg weight way back there as you slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time until your legs are going straight back up to the sky, and then slowly lower your squeezed straight legs. If you're out of control in your spine at all, don't lower your legs down all the way. Just bend them and bring your feet to the mat. We're going to bend the legs at the knees, tickling the heels with our fingertips, coming into a bridge, so pushing the hips up high. If you want a little bit more in this bridge, you can roll your shoulders back, interlace your fingers, straighten your arms out, press your palms together, and come up onto your shoulder girdle. So you might have to move back and forth to get into that position, squeezing your glutes and pressing your hips up to the sky here. Lifting and breathing. And then slowly unwind. Pull your knees into your chest and wrap your arms around your knees. Then we'll bring our upper body down, wrapping our arms around, moving to get opposite elbows here, with our heads on the mat, holding an apple between our chin and our chest. We're going to sit up again, so straighten out the limbs. Inhale, pull the middle of your spine into the mat. And on the exhale, we'll bring the upper body all the way up, sitting up, forward folding over the legs. Inhale, sit all the way up. We're going to come into our tabletop, so in your way, crisscross your legs and roll up and over your feet, or bring your feet out to the side. Through tabletop and into downward dog. Push back in your downward dog. Then walk your feet all the way up through your hands for your standing forward fold at the top of the mat. Bend your legs slightly at the knees and inhale, articulate all the way back up to the sky. Press your palms together and exhale your hands in prayer. Breathing here And inhale your arms all the way up, press the palms together. Exhale, come up and over the ball. Inhale back up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Walk the hands back into your downward dog and push back. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale into up dog. And inhale through plank. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale down to the knees and come up in a kneeling posture. Let's interlace the fingers behind the low back. Roll the shoulders back, straighten the arms out. Inhale here and exhale, come up and over the ball. Inhale, come out of this, release your hands, and exhale into child's pose. And inhale, come into tabletop. Crisscross your ankles if that's how you're coming through. Exhale, come up and over the feet, straighten the legs out. Feet are hip distance. Hands are on the ground or fists are on the ground, fingers forward. Inhale here. And on the exhale, lift up into the reverse tabletop. Let the head dangle if it feels good. Then inhale, slowly come back, sit down, arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, articulate all the way up, bringing your arms out ahead of you. Exhale, slowly lay all the way down, one vertebrae at a time, and your arms come up and over, getting ready for the legs and the arms to come up in that full sit-up. Inhale, press the middle of the back. Exhale, lift the legs and the arms all the way up. And inhale, slowly come all the way down, and exhale, come all the way down. This time we'll sit just the upper body up. Inhale here, and on the exhale, sit up, reach up, and forward fold over your legs. Inhale, articulate all the way back up. Let's face each other. We're going to come into several deep stretches. We'll start with Baddha Konasana, bound angle, bringing the tops of your feet touching. Draw the feet as close to the body as you're able to. Inhale, hold on to the feet. Exhale, forward fold. You can use your elbows to press the insides of your knees down to the earth. Breathing here. And inhale, articulate all the way back up. We'll keep the feet with the bottoms touching. This time just move the feet as far away from you as you're able. You can take the flesh off the sit bones. As long as the bottoms of the feet are touched, inhale, raise your arms up to the sky, and exhale, forward fold. Holding on to your feet if that's comfortable. And inhale, articulate all the way back up. Let your legs breathe just for a moment here, a couple of breaths. We're going to be coming into fire log, so you might be very tight in this posture, so we'll play around a little bit. Let's bend the left leg at the knee and make sure the left shin is parallel to the top of the mat. Then you can decide what you're going to do with your right leg. Are you going to hold it at the foot? Are you going to bring it up and over a little bit? Ultimately, one day the goal will be for you to stack your knee on ankle and ankle on knee. You can press the top knee down a little bit with your hand as you twist away from it, if that feels good. This is only if you're stacking ankle on knee and knee on ankle. You might not be here yet. And if this is comfortable for you, you can forward fold over, leaning on the stack. You can also come down with your forearms to the earth. So you're moving on one step at a time as time goes on into this posture, and only doing what you are comfortable doing. Breathing here. Let's slowly come out of this. Unwrap your legs and bring them out ahead of you. Shake it out a little bit. Letting your legs breathe in between each posture. And there's no goal for how deep you come into these postures. Let's switch sides. The right leg is bent at the knee and the right shin is parallel to the top of the mat. Then you decide what's going to happen with the left leg. Are you just going to hold the left foot? Will you bring the left foot up and over a little bit? Moving one day to stack ankle on knee and knee on ankle. Gently pressing the top knee down if you're stacked, if that feels good, and twisting away from it. And if all that is well, you can forward fold your upper body over this stacking. First, leaning on the stack with your forearms, and then forward folding over, bringing your forearms to the ground. Surrendering deeply into this posture. So this posture is a stacking of ankle on knee and knee on ankle, with the shins ultimately parallel to each other. Let's inhale slowly, come out of this, and unwrap the legs. Shake it out a little bit. The next posture we're going to be going into is cow face posture. So the shins are not parallel to each other anymore. Now we're working to stack our knees on top of our knees. So start with your left leg deeply bent and the left knee points forward. From there, you decide what your right leg is going to do. You're moving to wrap it all the way around and stack the right knee on top of the left one. This is a journey. If you are stacking the knees, you can press into the bottoms of your feet with your hands, straightening your arms out and using that as a bind to forward fold over this. Slow and steady, only doing what's comfortable here. These are deep openings. All of these are. Always coming out of something when your body's ready too. But if you're good here, we're just going to be here a little while longer, then slowly articulating up, out, and unwrapping the legs. Let them breathe. Then we'll switch sides. Now the right leg, bend it deeply at the knee and point the right knee forward. Then see what's going to happen with the left leg from there. Just come into the level that you are comfortable with. If you are able to stack the left on top of the right, then you can press into the bottoms of your feet with your hands, forward folding over this. Breathing here. Let's inhale, articulate up out of this, unwrapping the legs and letting them breathe. The last posture that we're going to play with here in these deep knee bends is called lotus. But first we'll come into half lotus, and we might not even come into it at all. So bending the left leg at the knee, you're going to move to bring the foot all the way up onto the very upper right thigh. This is half lotus, and you might just be struggling to hold your foot close to this position. If you're able to get your foot up there, you can forward fold over your right leg. And if you want to try to go further, you can bring both feet into lotus. If that feels okay, you can forward fold over this. This is a multi-stepped posture. That can take a lifetime to go into, so wherever you're at is the perfect place. Let's slowly unwind. Gently unwrap your legs. Straighten them out and let your legs breathe. When we switch sides, the right leg bends deeply. Use your hands to bring it as high up onto your left thigh as possible. If you are here, you can forward fold over your left leg. Otherwise, you're just in the upright seated posture here. And if all of this is well, and you want to try bringing the left foot up, you can see what happens when you gently try to bring the left foot up into the lotus posture. If this is comfortable, spend a few breaths here. You can come into your forward fold. And let's inhale, articulate up, slow and steady, carefully unwrapping legs, straightening them out ahead of you, letting the legs breathe. And then we'll move back into our tabletop position, curling the toes. Inhaling here and exhaling into your downward dog. Slowly walking the hands back to the feet. So now you're in your forward fold at the back of the mat. Bend your legs slightly at the knees and inhale, articulate all the way back up. Press the palms together and exhale your hands into prayer. Breathing here. Inhale your arms all the way up. Press your palms together. Exhale, come up and over the ball. Inhale back up to the sky. And exhale, forward fold. Walk your hands back out to your downward dog and push back. Inhale, come into your plank. Exhale into up dog. Inhale into plank. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale, come down to your knees. And exhale, lift up into a kneeling posture. We're going to reach back to grab the heels in this back bend, but if this is too much, you can just come with your fists at your lower back, reaching up and over the ball. And inhale, slowly come back up and exhale into your child's pose. Inhale, come back into tabletop and decide how you're going to come through, crisscrossing the ankles or sitting off to the side. Straightening your legs out, bringing your feet hip distance. Your hands or fists are on the ground, fingers pointing forward. Inhale here. Exhale, come into your reverse tabletop. This is our last round. Inhale here, and on the exhale, slowly sit all the way down. Reaching your arms up to the sky and forward folding. Inhale, sit up all the way, reaching the arms forward, and exhale, slowly lay all the way down. And as you lay down, your arms come up and back behind you. We're going to do the sit up with the legs and the arms. Inhale, pull the middle back into the mat, and exhale, lift the legs and the arms all the way up. Inhale, slowly come all the way down. And slowly bring your arms down to your sides. We're going to come into the happy baby stretch next. So bending your legs at the knees, bringing your feet so they're flat against the clouds. We're going to reach around and grab the feet from the outside with our hands. Bending the legs deeply at the knees. Your arms are inside of your knees. Your head is flat on the mat. You're holding an apple between your chin and your chest. Pulling your knees toward the earth and pulling your shoulders away from your ears at the same time. Moving to draw your tail down to the ground in this bind. Then we're going to take our index finger and our middle fingers and wrap them around our big toes. You might have to have your legs bent a little bit here to do this. If you're comfortable and it feels good for you, you can straighten your legs out all the way, coming into the straddle stretch. Apple in, rolling your tail down to the mat. And slowly bring your legs back together. Bend your legs at the knees and put your feet flat on the mat. Couple of breaths here, and we're going to come into a side twist. So let's bring the left leg up and over the right one. Double wrap your feet if that feels good. Inhale the right hand on the outside of the left knee and pull the lower body to the right while you reach your left arm out to the left and look to the left. Deep side twist here. Let's slowly unwind, setting the feet on the mat, keeping the legs bent at the knees. Let the body breathe and assimilate. Then we'll bring the right leg all the way up and over the left. Double wrap the feet if that's comfortable for you. Inhale the left hand on the outside of the right knee and exhale the lower body to the left. Reach the upper body to the right, look to the right. Breathing here, wringing out the spine. Let's slowly unwind. Keep the legs bent with the feet on the mat. Couple of breaths before you straighten your legs out, opening your legs as wide as the mat, bringing your arms out, palms up, in a totally relaxed posture for your final meditation, Shavasana. Begin to deepen your breath. Deep inhales and deep exhales. Slowly open your eyes to the sky, wiggling your fingers and your toes. Trance-like state. Deep breathing. We'll slowly bring our bodies off to the side into that fetal position and gently lift our bodies to a comfortable upright seated posture on our mats, bringing our hands into prayer. Breathing here and focusing. Take a big inhale and hold it all the way at the top. And exhale, forward fold. Namaste. As always, it's such a pleasure working with you. I hope you have the most delightful, beautiful, sparkling day.